court has recognized that internet technology is becoming our fundamental right, and with globalization, as the boundaries are disappearing, and when we talk about the cyber space, the boundaries are not there at all. So AI is another step forward. Now, first, I would like to just quote, because this definition I have taken from Google, because Google is also rigorously working upon artificial intelligence. So this definition that is given by Google, because it is in the cloud, uh, field of computer science dedicated to creating systems or machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Now, even when the tech companies like Google, Microsoft, Meta, they are referring to artificial intelligence, they are not forgetting one thing, that the last line of that is mentioned there, that typically require human intelligence. Now, question comes whether artificial intelligence is going to take over human intelligence or not. As of now, whatever I think Dr. Shikha Mishra's mic is. Okay. So now, when the tech companies like the big players in the market are saying that which requires human intelligence, they are talking about a designated or dedicated system or machine that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Now, it can be interpreted in a various manner, that artificial intelligence is going to take over the human intelligence, or artificial intelligence will require human intelligence. So it goes, both the hands. It goes by, reciprocatively, that it is going to happen. AI is going to take over for sure. Now, first question is, what is artificial intelligence? It is just because majority of us have used Chat GPT now. There are few names. I think apart from that, people will not be able to know exactly. Though I'm not from a technical background, I see that in the academic field, or specifically in the law field, people are using Chat GPT. And now in WhatsApp, there is a feature called Meta that is coming. But we are restricting ourselves to only that kind of artificial intelligence. And when we say artificial intelligence, people consider Chat GPT as artificial intelligence, and that's it. But that is not the case. So there is a technology behind it. There are so many technologies, different kind of technologies that works as artificial intelligence. Now, I have tried to portray all different kind of AI concepts in this one chart, which clearly mentions that what is the sublet or subset of artificial intelligence, what different kind of subsets are there. Though I'm not tagging as Chat GPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, because these are just the brand names, you can say. But the technology that works, that how it works, because once we understand that technology, how it is functioning, we'll be able to utilize it in the best possible manner, and also we'll be able to critically analyze that how it is going to affect us, or serve, ease to our job. Now, if you can see from the screen, that on the left hand side, one is machine learning. Right now, what is machine learning? Is also one form of artificial intelligence. It it is basically, a computer is being trained in a specific data or a pattern. So whatever that you are data that you are providing to the computer, the computer will learn that data, and slowly and gradually give all those kind of results which are already been fed. Now there are certain pros and cons which we will talk about each of the AI concepts there. So as of now, just understand that machine learning is just a computer which has been trained on a certain data set. Now, there are things that how data will be there, what kind of data will be provided, is it possible that every kind of data can be provided, right? So this is machine learning, but all the pros and cons we'll be talking separately. Now, how machine learning is uh, applicable on judicial. See, the case timelines can be predictive that, okay, this form of case will take this much of time because there is a data to support it. Let's say a case, a murder trial in a very, particular manner, or maybe a normal writ in the Supreme Court. There are thousands or lakhs of cases already that has been decided by Supreme Court or various district courts. So there is a data to support on the basis of the data that how much average time it took for that particular kind of a offense or a complaint or a suit or a plaint. So that based on that learning, the machine learning will help in predicting the case timeline or can identify the relevant case precedents, and then smart scheduling. It can fraud detection can be done in the evidences. So all machine learning can do that based upon the data that we see. Next is deep learning. Now, few months back, specifically, when DeepSeek came into the picture, I'm sure that you must have heard of DeepSeek. You must have heard of Kimi AI. You must have heard of, Google Gemini. Now, Apple has given a new name to AI, that Apple Intelligence instead of artificial intelligence. So when specifically in particular DeepSeek came into the picture, he or they emphasized majorly on deep thinking, right? It is nothing but just it's a subset of machine learning. It is another computer trained on uh, trained on data, but it has a technology which has which identifies, analyze the crucial patterns. It identifies the image, it identifies or it processes a language. So this kind of technology is going, it is more of generative AI, we call it. Now whenever we type anything on chat GPT or DeepSeek or Google Gemini, you see that there is an option of deep thinking or deep research. And once you tap that deep research, that it gives you a prompt, or it tells you that what all things that the DeepSeek or the Chat GPT has processed. So there is a complete, process of thinking, like a human brain that does that. When we, let's say, we want to go from a place to another place, there is a back, in our subconscious mind or in our mind straight away, that what all things will go on. Maybe, how will we go? What is the mode of transport? Which route that we'll be taking? This route will be a better option because this route is taking time. So all those thinking is put into the deep learning model, right? So it is another subset of machine learning. Another is natural language. Natural language processing means that it enables the computer to understand, interpret, generate human language. Now, I don't know whether you have you know it or don't know it, but that when we talk about the language of the computer, it understands a specific kind of language which is not, definitely not English, not Hindi, or any other language which is spoken by human language. So binary language like 1 0, it is being used. Now computer does not understand the human languages which are spoken. So NLP helps in enabling the computer to understand what we are speaking. For example, certain people speak different sentences in different manner. If I don't know English properly and I write, I want to go to Connaught Place, tell me the route. But if I don't know English, I'll say Connaught Place I want reach, broken English. But the technology is such that it will understand what the prompter is trying to ask. Right. Again, that is based upon the various data sets that has been given to the computers, to the servers, and based upon that, it understand, interpret, and generate human language. Now you see that overall, if we talk about all these three, AI concepts, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, the whole ecosystem of artificial intelligence is based upon a data set that we will be providing. Now, next is expert system. Now, this kind of system is, the next level, because when you see machine learning, then deep learning, and then above that, NLP, that is natural language processing, and then expert system. Now, this kind of system, now the computer is so much trained that it mimics human reasoning using knowledge base and rules, providing solution based on queries. Now, the data is already there. Based upon the data, certain analysis, deep learning will be done, and it will be given to you in a NLP format, and then expert systems will mimic the human reason, because you know computers have a limited thought process or whatever we feed, but expert system will mimic how humans will react to it, how humans will ask questions, how humans will solve a problem, what is the reasoning of human beings. So all these things will be just a minute, just a minute, I'm getting a call, please. Yeah. So the expert system will try to make the artificial intelligence and giving a human element to it. Now, based upon all these, the AI concepts, there'll be a judicial application. Uh, Deep learning, if you talk about on the right hand side, you see that generative AI for drafting legal documents, advanced image recognition in forensic evidence, voice recognition in court proceedings will take place. Now, natural language processing, we know that the languages that are being used across the country. Though English is our official language, but it is not everywhere. I've been when I was practicing, I've been to courts of UP. Their majorly the work was in Hindi. Maybe people who are coming from Delhi or maybe studying from English medium may not be able to understand the difficult words of Hindi, and that will become difficult to practice as well. Now, NLP will do the legal research, or maybe the translation and various other technologies. For example, OCR will be used, and then that can be helpful. Now, see, every concept will have a advantage and disadvantages. But overall, I think we mutually will discuss and then try to find a uh, answer to the question that we raised first, that whether AI is a boon or a bane for judicial decision making. So I think at the end of it that we'll be able to make out what uh, it is. Now all these concepts, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, expert system. So these are just a brief download of the technologies that are being used in artificial intelligence. Now, first starting with AI as boon, whether it is enhancing or how it is enhancing the efficiency and access to justice in India. So I'll be first, I'll be talking about the various initiatives of the government as on today. Also, I'll be talking about, what are the drawbacks. I'll be talking about what are the, few different countries, the international perspective to it, that are doing, and how they are doing it the best possible manner. Is it affecting their judicial in a positive or a negative manner? That we'll be discussing. So first, starting with AI as a boon, enhancing efficiency and access to justice in India. Now, you all know that the phase three of e-court project has been initiated by the government. It has a vision. The vision is to maximize the ease of justice. We, now and then talk about the access to justice in India, and it's not just about access to justice. It's about ease of justice as well. Because approaching a court and then resolving a case in itself is a very tedious task. And I'm definitely not trying to say that judicial system is not functioning or working, but it is working. But there are certain, issues that are need to be tackled. And when introduction of the technology, we should focus upon providing ease of technology. Now, the vision of the government initiative or vision of e-court project is that they provide maximum ease of justice. Now, when we say ease of justice, all the things are same. The courts are remaining same. The if the go to the civil part of the country, the court machinery is in a very difficult situation. Now, everything we talk about, the courts which are not able to function properly in a physical form, how we'll be able to align the electronic mode to the courts. So that becomes a challenge. But again, the government is taking an initiative, financial outlay of 7,210 crores. That this particular figure came from the government official itself or from a government notification. So 7,210 crore rupees have been outlaid for e-court project. Now, and e-court and AI integration are two separate things. Let's say when we are having this FDP, it is in e-form of the development program. But can we say this is integrated with AI? No. So now, can we say that this 7,210 crore rupees will be given and only for the purpose of virtual hearing or maybe for AI? Now, first, we see, let's understand the vision. Vision is very clear, ease of justice. Now, the courts having various problems, that is generally the case management and administrative efficiency. So, this 7,210 crore rupees will be utilized for that only. Out of this, 53 crore will be utilized by 2027 for future technology advancement, and that includes AI, blockchain technology. Though we'll not be talking about blockchain, it's a separate technology. So, including AI and blockchain technology across high courts in India nationwide. Across the country, 53 crore rupees will be utilized by 2027 in high courts, though we don't have, huge number of high courts as district courts, right? So 53 crore, approximately it will come around to 2.5 crore every high court that we have. So AI will be integrated in that. That is a government initiative. I feel that, the amount which is being bifurcated for the AI technology is a bit less because overall, the country is quite huge and the 53 crore is going to be a very less amount. Now, talking about certain AI powered tools which are already there in existence, which are in practice. Uh, if we talk about, the litigation or just a minute. If we talk about litigation or judicial decision making, there are various things which are related to it. Maybe, if we start from the very scratch, a person will prepare a plaint. plaint will be submitted to the registry. Registry will register it, and then a proper cause list will be prepared according to the engagement of the judges. And before preparing a plaint, there will be a lot of research. Once the plaint is submitted, it is accepted, it goes to the court. Court will do its own research. Now, in itself, because we all are scholars and academicians or the professionals, we know that research in itself is a very tedious task. It's a time-taking process. Uh, me myself being an academician, when I say I give assignment to my students nowadays from last 2 3 years, what they are doing, they just simply type the title topic, and then whatever is the prompt, whatever is the decision given by the or whatever output given by chat gpt, they just submit it without even thinking whatever it is written, assuming that it is being correct. I'll tell you a very I'll talk about it later though. It is related to some other part of my this session. So first, coming back to legal research and documentation, certain practices which are already uh, in practice. One is SUPACE. SUPACE is Supreme Court Portal for Assistance in Court Efficiency. Now, this particular tool is designed to assist judges with legal research in Supreme Court itself. Now, Supreme Court has so many, because the judges are limited, and so many cases coming up. So the research, reading all those books will become a difficult task. So AI controlled tool is being designed. Now, what does it mean? If you have used Google Gemini or Perplexity, so you will feel that when we do a research, it gives us the source as well. Now, source can be a blog which is written by me about anything, and it can be my own opinion. Now, that opinion will be taken by Google Gemini or DeepSeek. It will not analyze whether it is correct or incorrect. But court cannot afford that kind of research which is based upon AI. Supreme Court specifically cannot. So there has to be a development of AI control tool which is specifically designed based upon the data that has been given of Supreme Court judges or the cases. So it should only restrict to the Supreme Court judgments or the various judgments of various courts, and it has to be authentic. It cannot just drag or fetch data from or information from any blog. So this particular Supreme Court portal for assistance in court efficiency has been already in practice.
Sir, you were not audible. Mr. Amit Nagar, sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible now? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There was some glitch. Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about SWAS, that is Supreme Court Vedic Anuvad software, which is basically used for translation of judgments from English to 18 different languages, and also various private legal tech platforms that are coming, that is Law Simple and Bharat Law, and many more. So basically, they help us in generating the first draft clause level citation, flagging risk, searching legal acts, rules, using a very natural language of humans, and summarizing the judgments of Supreme Court and High Court judgments. In fact, if you use SEC online or if you use AIR, they also started to come with a feature called AI, where whenever you are reading a judgment, you just click that summarize the judgment. They just click, it will read, process all the judgments, and then give you a feedback, and that will be very hello, hello. Yeah, am I audible? There is a problem because now I have a doubt. Okay, so even SCC online is providing such kind of facilities which are AI enabled. Also, there are automated case management and smart scheduling software. Now, for a lawyer, for an advocate, for the Supreme Court, High Court judges, District Court judges, the scheduling becomes a very, questionable. There has been in past, people are raising concern on the registry of Supreme Court that, there is some sort of biasness towards the senior lawyers is happening, that how only particular cases of a particular lawyer are being prioritized in the court, why the other people are not even able to admit. There are certain people in my known as well that, they're trying to go for the first date in Supreme Court. So, because see, I'm not saying they are doing it purposely, but there is no mechanism which is being followed, and human error can happen. So, when we automate all these, case management and smart scheduling, so that will help, that will prioritize the case, that will, proactively reduce the backlog and reduce overall case delays and ensure a more timely hearing. So these softwares are already in place, already, functioning, working nowadays, and AI assisted filing and court procedures, OCR specifically. See, OCR is a technology I was talking earlier, that is optical content read. So, where the content, let's say something is written on the wall, if you want to type it, that can that is a manual way of doing it. But let's say if somewhere some picture is there and there is so much of the text is written, now you want to convert it into a proper MS Doc format. It will take a lot of effort. Physically we have to just type each and every word and then do that. Let's say you get a book from 100 years back. Now there is no soft copy to it. You want to create a soft copy. Either you just click the pictures and that's it. But now OCR is a technology where you just, you know, swipe it up on the text and it will type it automatically. Or you just click a picture. Nowadays it is, this OCR technology, I can just tell you that it can be utilized in smartphones as well. You can just, from a picture, you can just copy the text. So that is OCR technology or NLP that we have already talked about. So that will automate the filing of court documents and significantly enhance the accuracy and speed. Now, chatbots. In my college, I was working with Department of Justice under a pro bono club, where they have given us a task to create the content for the chatbot, where the Department of Justice is trying to make the access to justice more easily approachable, where there is an application where you just type your question, and based upon the data that we'll be providing, a legal solution or maybe a guidance can be provided. So it will become so easy for people, and applications like MyAdvo, Lawbot. Basically, these are the the robot kind of, or maybe a technology where based upon a knowledge, just like an advocate, you go to an advocate, you ask your legal questions, and then the advocate answers based upon his knowledge. So the knowledge is being fed into the chatbot software. Based upon that, the user assistant and chatbot is going to help. It is, and on the other side of it, if you see that litigants will get the real-time information regarding their case status, procedural guidance, essential legal updates that they'll be getting. I was talking about MyAdvo and Lawbot. They offer basic legal guidance and information in local language. So a person maybe from Kerala wants a guidance, though the literacy rate is very high in Kerala. So I'm assuming they're understanding it, but let's assume they are not understanding English. So they want guidance in their local language. So they just need to type their question in their own local language. Answer will be provided in their local language. So it becomes so easy. So this is already happening. This is already, though this my Advo and Lobot are private players, but still it is happening. Now, talking about the predictive analytics for case outcome and resource allocation. Now, why predictive analytics becomes important? That when you see a case, the judges, do the research, and research is nothing new. They are not producing something new. They are only analyzing the previous decided cases. They analyze the laws based upon their analysis. They decide a case. So the same can be done, or at least a prediction can be made based upon the previous historical judgments. And based on the previous judgments, there can be a extensive case data and outcome can be predicted, at least not accurately, because I know that the time changes and the judgment and the way of judgment also changes, but at least a tentative outcome can be predicted. A risk assessment can be done for a company. Let's say a company is entering into a very $1 million deal. So based upon the current situation, they can analyze the risk as well, that whether it is going to be a legally effective or may go against them. So that is already in place. Now, overall, I try to sum it up in a chart in a tabular form. One last that I did not discuss previously, that is CCTNS, Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System. Now that becomes a very huge step for the criminal litigation. So this AI enhanced system will be integrated with e-prison, e-forensics, and that will enhance the crime prevention, that will enhance the intelligence, that will help us for a faster case resolution. Now, all these are the pros of AI in legal. But now talking about the bane, AI as bane. Now, what are the challenges and ethical concern in Indian judiciary? No, I'll be talking about the other jurisdictions as well. But first, let's talk about Indian judiciary. Algorithm bias and discrimination. Now, this is a very serious concern because, I was saying that all the models of AI, whether it is NLP, whether it is deep thinking, or whether it is machine learning, all these things requires a data. Now, every answer or any solution provided by AI will be based upon the data itself. Now, thinking about, let's say Sati Pratha, it's years back situation, or the judiciary, or maybe the justice system then was of different approach. Or let's go back 20 years, where adultery was a crime, where Section 377 was crime. Now, the past judgments are biased based upon that law and the criminal approach. So that data will be by in itself will be biased, will be not providing the correct information. So it will reflect and perpetuate and amplify sometimes those biasness in its output. Now there is one Compass, that is correctional offender management profiling for alternative sanction, that was used in USA, America. So I repeated, correctional offender management profiling for alternative sanctioning algorithm. Now this particular tool was used for finding the risk based upon the offender, or maybe a profile of an offender, that some data has been fed. Based upon that, a profiling will be done. Now, there was an algorithm biased in that particular, you know, software or a tool. That was in that tool. It was for the, earlier in US, there was a lot of black versus white. So it was automatically multiplying the risk by 2 times if the data of black person is being fed as compared to the white, because the historical data or historical bias or societal prejudice was in involved in the data that was given to the tool. Now automatically whatever the outcome comes, the black person was 2 times you know more onto the offender side. Now that came into the picture. Now that gives an impression that AI can also be a, a biased. It can lead to discrimination, which we straight away in our laws say that we don't discriminate based upon anything. But if the data is fed that way, there can be different societal prejudice that existed in India or still exists, maybe may not exist in future. So this algorithm bias will always be there. That is going to be a challenge. Another is black box problem, or which is now when we say AI is not a decision make taken by a human. It is a box. It is a computer which is making the decision, which is taking the decision. Now the decision which are taken, which are highly complex because it is in a computer language and it is not easily interpretable. So when we talk about the judgment, a human takes a decision. There is a decision making process. There is a rationale to it. Whenever we see a judgment, there is a rationale. Now that will not be available in case of AI. But I feel that now with the introduction of the that deep learning or deep research or deep thinking technology, this can be slightly reduced. But the lack of transparency still may exist. So this is one beam. Next is yeah, accountability and human oversight, which is preserving the judicial integrity. Now, there are certain inherent features, or you can say inherent lack of fundamental human qualities such as empathy, emotional intelligence, moral reasoning, capacity of nuanced value judgment. So that will not be there in AI. The human intelligence will not be there. The human feelings, emotional intelligence will not be there, and that will reduce. That will definitely reduce uh, the trust and faith in the judiciary system. Now, next is data quality, privacy, and security concerns. In India, when the Aadhaar card was introduced, the people were in trauma that how what will happen to their data. Now, when we talk about training of AI, all the data will go to the AI. Now, data quality will be a question. In India, various district courts have not still digitalized their data. The data is not there in soft copy, in computer language. It is still in hard copy. So how will we fed that data? That becomes a concern. Now, even if that has been fed, the privacy concern will be there. And once the data is been secured, there are a lot of cyber attacks that can happen. And then the all the data of whole Indian judicial system can be a problematic which in be a problematic situation. So this and and this is a very big problem. So many cases, so many previous cases, precedents which are not in computer language. So data quality will lead to the biasness, or because the proper data is not being fed, that will be a problem. Next is potential erosion of human discretion and critical thinking. Now, see, I have a belief. I mean, I'm not being very political about it. Let's say I believe that Congress is not good for the country. It's just an example. Congress is not good for the country. Now, whatever data that comes and speak my thought process, which is in aligned with the my thought process, I will believe that output more. And by the algorithm, in their algorithm, it will show me more of those data which is of my biased. That is called confirmation bias. So now this confirmation bias will erode my human discretion and critical thinking because I am just being fed. You must have felt it, during the elections as well. That what or not just election, anything in this, nowadays, whatever that you start to like, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, everything, you just see similar kind of post, and that is a confirmation bias. Also, there is automation bias. For example, I was talking about my students writing answers from ChatGPT. I was teaching company law and I gave assignment to the students. Now in that assignment, they were supposed to write interpretation of legal provisions related to, let's say, doctrine of constructive notice, or how a company is started. They have written the answer. Now, when I was checking those assignments, they have mentioned some section which does not exist. They mentioned an act which does not exist in India because at that time ChatGPT was made in US. So automatically ChatGPT was giving a prompt or giving output based upon US company laws. But the student believes that if it is provided by ChatGPT, it is correct. So there was an automation bias. Now, in judicial decision making as well, it will affect whenever a prompt will be coming based upon the data quality that we are giving. There'll be automation bias. We'll believe that is correct, but it will not be under because human intervention will not be there. We'll be able to make uh, you know a discrimination between correct and incorrect. So automation bias will be a problem. Confirmation bias will be a problem in that case. Moving ahead, risk of fabricated information and misinformation, AI hallucination. They call it AI hallucination. Sometimes, all these GPTs or all these AI tools, they uh, fabricate the information. They fabricate the information, meaning you ask them a question, they will give you an answer, they'll give you a situation, they'll quote certain case laws which are fictitious. They are not existent. They are not into existence. They'll give you certain legal precedents. Now, if the AI hallucination takes place, it will directly hamper the judicial decision making. Now, talking about international perspective on AI in judiciary. As of now, we have talked about the Indian boon and bane, what is already the existence, what is the drawback. Now, apart from India, China is a, I can say, is ah, once the GPT is introduced, China took the race to the next level. China is doing wonders, great in AI field, and they are producing, they are making better AI tools than anyone else. They are into the technology so fast. Why I'm talking about China? In 2017, China has started with their smart codes, and smart codes does not mean that human will was involved. They have made it AI assisted judges. Also, in certain things, they made AI judges as well. So, smart codes were introduced for online disputes, AI assisted judges, and automated case management and evidence analysis. Though some sort of, all these tools, India is also trying to adopt. Though not directly the technology being produced by China, but still we are, in that plan of 2027 that has been introduced. And what China was doing with this smart courts, there was virtual internet courts like we have right now in India, but AI judges were there in China. So AI was producing, or not producing, but AI was giving judgments. They have used the blockchain for evidence integrity. Though I say that I'll not get into the blockchain technology, but blockchain they were using. But finally, even if we conclude it, the China model is highly, highly, highly dependent only for, I'm not saying for all the cases, but there are only specific codes which are considered to be smart codes where AI was providing judges. But ultimately, after the judgment comes, the final authority is given to human judges itself. And also, the concerns related to accountability, empathy are also there, but they are relying upon AI. I think they are the stronger believer of replacing judges, human judges with AI. And it is not, in the fantasy world, it is a present situation where it is happening already. It is not something that, now we think that AI will do this in future. No, AI is already doing this. Now talking about Estonia, They started a pilot called AI Judge, and they started with for a small claim. They got the robot mediators for dispute resolution, right? So they are that is applicable now. Though the AI judges, see, it's like a district court decision can be challenged in High Court, and High Court decision can be challenged in Supreme Court. So what they did that first they started with AI judge. Now AI judge decision is appealable to human judge. I see it as a different, it becomes uh, difficult. Now there is no reduction in the cases. Now it is a more burden on the judiciary because ultimately everyone will appeal to the human judges, and that will be a problem. But one important tool was creating a offer and counter offer in that. Offer and counter offer, meaning that will help uh, in the mediation. So the robot will uh, do the mediation part. But again, European Union has not agreed to the thing. They have labeled it as high risk and monopoly of justice. Now, EU has a clear stand. EU has a clear stand that there should be only and only human judges. They are not relying upon the AI. Though I believe that European Union is very tech friendly. They promote technology, but their thought process, their functioning is more related to human values or human rights, or so they believe that the human judges should be there. AI can be used for the assistance, according to them, according to the approach of European Union. Also, talking about United Kingdom, though United Kingdom is basically relying upon AI for document review, contract drafting, case law analysis, and litigation prediction. They are still not into the making the judgment or getting the judgment by AI. They are taking the help. So there is one TAR, that is a technology assisted review. So that helps in reviewing the case based upon the situation. Okay. Now, UK has raised a concern regarding biased amplification of automation and confirmation bias that I was talking about. Uh, when DeepSeek, or you can now try, now as well, if you want to try, you can do that. If you put a certain questions to DeepSeek, which is as per, let's say, Indian territory, certain part of the country belongs to India, according to us, right? The part of Jammu and Kashmir that we consider that it is a part of Indian territory. But if you ask the similar kind of question to DeepSeek, they will, or the response will be that that particular territory is belonging to China, because DeepSeek specifically was made in China. As a country, India, we have a particular stand in international politics. China has a different stand. So the tools which are being made, AI tools which are being made by Chinese companies, will always give you a prompt or a bias towards the Chinese stand into that. Though those tools are being used globally, but still the effect will be the responses will come, according to the China. So, different countries, though USA, I have already talked about that USA has identified few biased in terms of black and white. So different countries, I cannot go about each and every country because these are the major countries that are uh, catering to AI into judiciary system, right? So now let's reach to the conclusion of it. See, I think after that I'll be, if they permit, I'll be going for the question answer and then we'll wrap up the session. So if I talk about my final conclusion, that is my personal view about AI and judiciary. That whenever there is a tool which is being framed based upon the data. Now the challenge related to the data remains a question mark because how we will cater to so much of the data that is not digitalized yet. Even if we do that, then there will be certain societal bias in those data. How will we cater to that? Third, very important because the judges in India, specifically Supreme Court judges, have till now gone through the traditional way of justice system. Coping up with the fast-paced technology like artificial intelligence will be a challenge. So, in that case, there should be, a proper training. There should be various workshops. There should be certain pilot projects related to AI or the tools. And also, I believe that, the tools of artificial intelligence, which are going to help in judicial system, should be introduced at various workshops to the advocates, to the Supreme Court, and also to the law students. Now, I have talked about all these problems of AI in judicial decision making. But on the other side, my personal opinion, my you know take would be that AI should be used for the assistance of judiciary system. As on today, we cannot rely upon AI to make the decisions. There should be a human intervention to it. But in reaching to the conclusion, there are various stages of the cases or the justice system in India where the technology should be used. For example, proper case management should be there. Legal research can be done. And advocates also for their case management, for the litigants as well, regular update, maybe a mechanism for chatbot system will be helpful. So that is my take overall that AI is good for the assistance part, but final decision like replacing a judge, human judge by AI, still we have not reached to that level, and I don't see that in future as well. It is going to happen. So now I think I'll end my session, and if we can go ahead with the question answer, if you have, if we have the question answers, then we can go ahead with it.
If anyone has any question, they may ask. You may please raise your hand.
Monday. Yeah,
I think there is no question, so let's end the session.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful session on law, artificial intelligence, and digital society. Your talk was really thought-provoking, highlighting the intricate balance between the technological advancement and legal frameworks. We truly appreciate you for your time and expertise you shared with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I leave the meeting now?
Now I would like to invite Dr. Simibir for a vote of thanks.
Respected Chairman Sir Dr. Amit Gupta in absentia, Professor Dr. Pallavi Gupta, Head of Department, Law Department, James Greater Noida, Professor Dr. A.K. Tyagi Sir, convener of this program, and our distinguished speaker, Mr. Amit Nagar, dear participants and colleagues, a very good morning to all of you. Oh, sorry, good afternoon to all of you. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of gratitude that I, Dr. Simibir, Associate Professor, Law Department, JIMS EMTC Greater Noida, rise to deliver the vote of thanks at the culmination of this enriching session in Faculty Development Program on AI, Law, and Digital Society in India. Let me begin with a heartfelt appreciation for the expert speaker of the day, Mr. Amit Nagar, Program Chair in Asian Law College, Noida, who set the intellectual tone for the entire session. Sir, your session on AI in judicial decision making, boon or pain, was a perfect blend of scholarly depth, real world relevance, and forward-looking analysis. From highlighting the capabilities of SUVAS and Bharat Law, chatbot, etc., to discussing the ethical dilemmas surrounding algorithmic justice and predictive models. You helped us explore both the promise and perils of AI in our judicial system. Your examples were crisp, your insights were impactful, sir. Sir, you beautifully explained the international perspective on AI in judiciary by taking examples of country like China, Estonia, and United Kingdoms, etc. So thank you, sir, for your this enriching session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we'll have a lunch break till 1:30 p.m. and we'll start the next session at 1:30 p.m. And before that, you all are requested to fill the feedback form, which is shared in the WhatsApp group itself. A link has been shared with you. Thank you. Also, one more information that it is mandatory for all of you to join this session, which will start at 1:30 p.m. And please fill the feedback form as well.